are in West End. So this, for those who don't live in Brisbane, we are in a city on the other side of the river. There are a lot of unit complexes along here. We are one street back from the river. So we're in a very trendy suburb. Now, there are two types of buyers who'll be coming through here. We have a lot of investors, a lot of younger people who are buying up in these blocks, but we also have a lot of downsizers because there is fantastic amenities, fantastic access. And I personally know a lot of people who have purchased units to move from their grand big homes, their big family homes in the outer suburbs, and who are now moving in here, Kangaroo Point, somewhere along the river where they have a fantastic lifestyle. They will generally be the two types of buyer or an investor who will be looking to buy here. So we need to make sure what we're presenting here works really, really well for that demographic. Now, this building enclave is gorgeous. Like, it's a very modern building. You can see we've got lighter oak finishes throughout. We have amazing extra high ceilings. So much natural light through this property. So it's actually a really easy property for us to style because it is such a delight to style property that is like this. Now, if we start off to this first room. So this first room on our right, on a floor plan, it will be marked as either a multi-purpose room or a home office. It legally can't be sold as a third bedroom. It doesn't have any windows. If we get a bed in there, it legally can't be sold as a bedroom. It does have a smoke alarm in there, so it will pass building and pest. However, we're not really doing the right thing by presenting it with a bedroom in that room. We have a desk coming back. It is not here yet. You can imagine the desk in that space. Now, that is definitely one of the things that I get asked often. Can we present it as a 3-bedroom unit? Well, no, because legally it can't be sold as a 3-bedroom unit. Because it's got no internal windows there at all. So we come through, you can see about these double height ceilings that we're talking about. Now, the team are hanging up some artwork. They're the last things that we're going to get up, but we'll put some finalized footage. When we have extra high ceilings, we get to play with some more dimension. We get extra height, so we can do extra high, extra large artwork. We can do vases that have some more height on them on the dining table. We can go for solid blocks of furniture, whereas normally in a 2-bedroom unit, you will find us using a lot of glass top surfaces. Something that is a massive feature, and they're standing on it in this property, is our brand new sofa from Robert Mark, and we're really excited to use this one. A corduroy curved sofa, absolutely gorgeous. Perfect for units because it splits into 2 pieces, fits in the elevator without an issue, and as you can see, it fills this space perfectly. We've kept a colour palette of tan, sort of natural colours, with a little hint of light green as well as the black. Now, these are going to provide amazing contrast when those photographs happen. In addition, with the sheer curtains, when they're drawn and the photographer gets the photos here this afternoon, it's going to come up absolutely beautiful. Outside, we've got a nice big space, bringing the black outside as well, focusing on the size of this area. We've got a 4-seater outdoor lounge out here to really make the most of the outdoor living. Again, something that's really important with inner city living, making sure we capitalise on the outdoor space. Bedrooms, they're standard. As I've spoken about before, it's really important in the bedrooms in a 2-bedroom unit. We need to get a true size queen, and the second bedroom should be a double bed at the very least. If we get a single bed with an office space in there, it just writes off that second bedroom and it makes it feel a whole lot smaller than it actually is. So we have a queen and a double in there. The queen is carrying the same colour palette throughout, which is what we consistently do to make sure that we have that constant flow, to make sure the level of the product lifts because it feels familiar throughout. So this was a property that is Emily's first installation. As I said, I'm going out on Wednesdays to do some training. One of my emerging stylists is starting to learn. It's very important that I go out on site with them to obviously pass on all the learning to ensure that the end product remains the same as if I was to style it. It's really important they have the consistency with that to start with, but then they have the other stylists who pop out with them after that point to make sure that they're getting those different points of view, helping them to perfect their process in a way that makes sense for them and their learning. In this one today, we've gone through the positioning of accessories. We've touched on this in previous years, but haven't of late. Selections of the accessories generally happen at the warehouse, and positioning happens obviously on site. Now, the positioning is all about first impressions. It's all about the furniture positioning is the first comment we'll talk about, ensuring that we have a great thoroughfare, ensuring that the front, none of our rules are broken, so we don't see the front of the TV when we walk in. We only see the front of the sofa. We're not blocking off a thoroughfare. We are making sure that whether or not we're using the bar stools, are we using our bed head, all of those factors are coming in to when the furniture is coming in. Then when we position the accessories, it's all about positioning them so they face the front door, the front entry point of the property, because The front entry point, we need everything to look absolutely amazing from. We've spoken about you have 6 seconds, 7 seconds to form a first impression on a property, and we haven't got the very best of everything facing that viewpoint, then we're sort of not doing our job. So the other bits that we're talking about is not impeding on that first impression. So not making sure we don't have our highest and tallest vases when you walk in and seeing that, because they work as a block. They might not be a very big piece of furniture, but those accessories definitely can block the view of certain things. Going through the bathrooms, making sure that the pieces that we're putting in there, complementing the rest of the level of the home. We could very easily just put some greenery and a soap dispenser in a bathroom, but that will make it feel off caliber to the rest of the property. So making sure that consistency with the accessories is throughout. In the bedrooms, making sure our lampshades are perfect, making sure our bedside tables are tucked in, making sure we have this is our brand, this is our consistency and what agents can come to expect. So that's why we go through this, making sure the bedside tables are tucked in, all the cushions are standing up, making sure there's outdoor cushions. Without this checklist of the items for our staff to go through, each property would be different and the consistency wouldn't be there. Therefore, we wouldn't have such a big customer base. So that consistency is incredibly important. And just finishing up, we've just done a 2-bedroom.
Phoebe doing a story for Instagram for this property. We're just about to head off. Now, I've just recorded a big episode here with Phoebe, a walkthrough of this property, but also you would have just heard Phoebe discuss the placement of accessories with Emily, a training stylist. Now, I recorded 10-ish minutes of Phoebe training Emily in the process of laying out accessories around this property. You've heard her describe it briefly there. Now I'm just gonna roll this clip of Phoebe training Emily while it was happening as a bit of a bonus. So unedited, but I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Kitchen spreads, how many do we have? Have you noticed?
Kitchen spreads?
Yeah, in the kitchen, how many spreads will we normally do?
2 or 3.
Yeah, so generally 3. So we're gonna do something on the table, something next to the oven, and then something on the other side. Generally, you've got canisters, something small. On the other side, something with height. So your chopping board, your books, and then some element of lifestyle stuff. And then a tea spread, a cooking spread, a bar spread, or something on the bench. Now, in the units that have only a small bench, that you have to be thoughtful about what we put. So we can't take up all the space because agents have all their marketing stuff they've got to put out. So same as in a house, we won't necessarily take up all the space on a console table. So vases, frames, and an open book, we could, but we don't because they're gonna have all their marketing stuff out. So we always leave a space for that because we know what's gonna happen and there's too much otherwise. Yeah. So because it's going to be for first impressions, everything is going to be angled towards the front entry. Yeah. So it makes more sense for us to have something. So which side of the bench actually? Which side of the bench would you put your main, and why is that?
It's the largest spot.
Yeah, but when you're walking in, we could have and see it on that side, it'd be the first thing we see. Why wouldn't we put it there?
Balance in the kitchen.
Yeah, also, because it's going to be our tallest vase, you're gonna block the rest of the house. So if we put the tall vase there, you walk in and all you see is the spread we're taking away from our first impression. Yeah. So always have the biggest vase where it's not blocking. Same as there's units where we will walk in and one of the very first things you'll see, you literally walk in here, look through here, and we have this massive tall vase on the dining table. And yeah, so the first thing a photographer is gonna do is remove that tall vase. And then sometimes we see that on the floor. So we need to learn from that, knowing maybe use a droopy vine, maybe use a nesting set of vases or something different on those tables. Yeah. Because we've got to make the first impression amazing, not distract. So you will also notice bathrooms. Will we have something different in the ensuite to the main bathroom? Have you noticed that? Yeah. So something bigger, generally grander, because both those bathrooms will go onto realestate.com, but we need to differentiate between the two, even though they're mostly the same. Does that make sense? Coffee table. Always have a small vase, not a tall vase. So I'm talking about a 30 centimetre vase, but nothing too boring. So this is very boring. Yeah. It still needs to be more wow, especially in a unit like this. And then outdoors is perfect. Have you noticed anything different? Nope, for anything that you've been seeing over the last few months to what I've just described? No? Anything that you've walked in and gone, I really love that?
30 seconds.
Yeah. Do you like a setting with a chopping board more, a setting with a basket, a tray? Do you know why we would go for a teapot spread over a bar spread? Do you have thoughts over that?
Generally the setting or the feel of the space.
Yeah.
Why?
With a buyer.
Yeah.
So we here will not go for a teapot spread on the bench because that doesn't really go for who's going to walk here. Something like a bar spread or so she's got the wine, so that's perfect because that's the sort of level of buyer. In a house where we're looking for a downsizer, we could go for more of a trendy like teapot spread, but making sure that we resonate with pieces that come in. Same as you can see or hear what she's chosen, what George has chosen in greenery.
It goes well with the tone.
Yeah, but also if we went with peonies or something like a fuddy-duddy type flower, it doesn't meet the same demographic. Yeah. So the peonies or the roses or something like that, or magnolias are again a different demographic. So that's more formal upper class. And then I would say like that massive big home in Carindale that we did, that traditional formal feel, magnolias are perfect.
Yeah.
For here, it's not quite the same. The greenery works perfect.
Yeah. Because
you and I will resonate more to the greenery. And that's the level of buyer who's looking for here. Make sense?
Yeah.
Have a go, put it out. Cool? That's one of the biggest things to remember, like those flowers and the florals, especially like dried flowers. Dried flowers aren't gonna work in here. Play with your size of everything. Yeah. So you can't, oh, that's gonna be too small. So put that on. Yeah, but try big vase first and go and have a look from the front first impressions, because this is set back. So you probably will be able to use a big vase because you're not literally walking into seeing the whole front of the table. I would give yourself some dimension there, yeah. Now, just go to that front door and make sure that you're happy. Oh, pulling it apart. It's not blocking anything?
it's only blocking the floor lamp, but the floor lamp.
That's perfect, yeah. So you can see that's all facing the front door. All right, and coffee table. Oh, hang on, you've got a nice another coffee. Hang on, here you go. If you do those two, do that one on top because that's the colours. Yeah, that'll look nicer. Do the green one on top, I reckon. Yeah, perfect. How do you feel that looks? I feel like it looks like it needs another vase. We'll come back to that one. Just depends on how many accessories. So if you do your coffee table, or do your, what's that called? Kitchen. Far out. Love it. Perfect. All right, and then you set up your thing. I'll just tuck them closer together.
Would this be too boring in the master ensuite, or would you do something else?
No, that can work. Too boring, like as in on the shelf?
On the ensuite base.
No, I think you get away with it because we're going modern. So it's not, doesn't have to be something big.
So it's not be like that?
No, because what you can do is put this on that rolled up towel. Yeah? And now because you can see this is not ideal, like it's empty, right?
Yeah.
So then you've got empty towels, you've got extra towels. So play with the extra towels that you've got. So if you just play with the space to give them more. Yeah, a nice big vanity. That'll work.
Nice.
Happy?
Yep.
Because you've got the extra, you may as well make it up that level because that was boring before.
Yeah.
But I guess it's around the greenery. Yeah? There's generally always a solution on site for something like that.
I have a spare.
Fix your shades, and then your art will go up and then you're done. So shades, make sure the best side is out. Bedside tables, one of the biggest things that two things, slanty cushions, so that your cushions come all the way out. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say slanty cushions? No? You can say no.
No.
Like that. I hate a cushion like that. It looks,
No.
all right? So always make this sitting up right, and then tuck your bedside tables in. So they need to be, see how these are actually touching the bed?
Yeah.
So when you turn on all your lamps, tuck in all your bedsides. I don't want a person to be able to fit in between the bed and bedside table. It looks more finished. Yeah. You can see it's a nicer product. So you'll have to do the same in here. So plug everything, tuck in the bedside tables, and then wipe down the coffee tables and then you're done. I think it's gonna be too much, so you probably take a chair back in the car.
Okay, you're fine with that?
Yep. And if you do, you need to update it on Trello.
Yep.
And that is called a brass emery chair, and you can check that because, well, you don't need to because you've got a stock list.
Oh,
And on your stock list, you have 2 of those. And if you bring back 1, you have the name.
There.
Yep, okay?
Very quickly stacked in the master.
Please, yeah. That would be awesome. Then, so Susanna, you'll drop the keys back. And then you'll come back to work. So you need to take photos of everything. So when I'm saying taking photos of everything, everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's for insurance as well as I want to see it, okay? So I need to know that there's towels in the bathrooms. We need to know that for the next install. Insurance-wise, if I don't have photos of it, I can't claim it. But I also want like a big photo of the whole room so I can see actually how you've laid it. A photo of that table and those chairs close up doesn't help me figure out your layout. And if an agent rings me and like, we're a bit underwhelmed, I have nothing to go on, right? So what I would rather is have everything and know how it's all set up. So when I'm saying that, I mean from here, take a photo. And this is probably going to be your best photo of this whole place because this is an awesome photo. But then for your Instagram picture of the day, right? So you can start going there. That's where you start doing close-up. So that's where you get in here and get down at the level of the table. So give me your very best work. And you're gonna get some good photos in here because it's nice light.
Yes,
So
it is.
play, you've got time before Susanna comes because you'll come back with her.